Hello guys, it's Peter from PS Sound, and this week we had a lot of fun. It was me, Eddie and Lee from Platinum. You've seen him in a few videos. There you go, the old man. He's done a lot of work on this amp rack. He came down to help us out because we knew that this project would be pretty extreme compared to most of the daily systems that usually we do, or to be fair, any other shop do, because how often do we see a system like this in UK?
Not often.
Once a year, once every 2 years. Not too often, yeah. So, alright. From the introduction you could see what the plan was, how much gear we had to fit, and what challenges we had because of that battery tray. They are down there for the hybrid pack. Jeez, I'm tired. We had quite a week. we wanna show to you what we did. Actually, it might be easiest if you jump in, Lee, and you just tip the whole thing.
I don't know if I can from that side.
Oh, you can grab it and then pull it that way. It's easier than from lifting from this side. So the whole amp rack, here you go, is on hinges right at the bottom, and we were lucky to find OEM points in each corner, that side and the other side, where the original hook points are, so you could bolt the whole rack down to that. So this way we will just need little stands or something we will figure out, and then the battery pack can be taken out should the service ever, you know, if they ever have to take it out, we will see. But it's so easy. Yes, now people could say why we didn't weld another frame and bolt it down somewhere and then have that whole thing on hinges, and not hinges, struts. But realistically this may only happen once, but then now we have full access to the battery pack. Can you drop it back slowly? And then once it comes back, then in this bracket that runs along, then we just drill little holes. We will have bolts over there to bolt the whole rack down on each side, and this is not gonna go anywhere. So the 3 Stegs ended up here because they just look pretty. They certainly look quite something. They have a bit of an old school design this way, don't they? Like probably the old Phoenix Gold and whatnot they had.
I think the guts are the same as most amps, it's just the top section does look a little bit older, but you're not showing that now anyway, so. Yeah,
but they're certainly pretty. So we have the 2 Class A's on each side running the mid-range and the tweeter, and then we have the MSK 1500 2-channel in the middle, which is gonna run the mid-bass up front. So that's the plan with those. If I'm here at the back, then I'll also show the situation with the rest, because Lee welded frames for the battery. As you can see over there, we have factory mounting point there, factory mounting point there, and also right on the top we have factory mounting point. Factory mounting point everywhere, right?
Yep.
So over here there's a little bracket that's gonna hold the battery down. So is that easy to take the battery out? Should we need to take it out? But that's a 100 amp hour lithium battery with built-in Bluetooth and whatnot. So the owner will be able to monitor everything, current draw, voltage. But the battery is going to be charged through a DC-DC converter, which ended up there on that welded bracket, which is a 30 amp charger. So the car is not going to see more than 30 amp load. And most of the times, to be fair, this system is going to draw probably 15 amp maximum, not much more. We will definitely clamp the system towards the end when everything is going to run. So that is going to top up the lithium, and the system is going to run from the lithium pretty much independently. We have 2 distro blocks over there, a positive, so it's going to come straight off the battery. You can see the terminal, how close it is. So we won't need any fuse between the distro block and the positive terminal, because that's within the competition rule, which is what, 40 centimeter, right?
Yeah.
And then we have a ground distro up there. So we will use that 4-way for 2 monoblocks running straight from the battery. One output is going to run to the power stabilizer and power distributor that I'm going to show in a second, and then we will also have one output for the DC-DC charger to come back into the battery. So yeah, now it looks pretty simple, but Lee has had solid 40 hours in this. Yeah, we had 40 hours.
It's the first time I've ever built an amp rack that not only has massive amplifiers on it, as you can see they're big enough, but not only that, it's got 6 amplifiers,
yeah,
a massive power distribution block,
yeah, and a DSP too,
and a DSP. So there's a lot of, it's very complicated.
From this angle you don't see much. Let's see the other side. So this is the back end, where now we only have one monoblock mounted, but there will be another one symmetrically. So that's the power distribution, the audio solution, power distribution and power stabilizer. That can be turned up to 14.6, I think. And then that's going to run the Stegs, the Zapco amp and the Zapco DSP, which are going to be underneath the rack. I'm going to show that in a second. But yeah, there you go. Let it go, Lee. That's it. And then we have a final push, which needs to be done manually. Oh. So that's the solution for getting access to the rest of the equipment underneath the rack. We will drop in the DSP and the amplifier there in a sec, then you will be able to see that too. But yeah, we measured it out really, really nicely. That we will have just enough space. If we keep the trim panel on the top, then it will just go up to the ceiling. And it's all supported on struts, bolted. We have support here, support there for the back end of this. So this rack is super solid. And then if I come back, then yeah, that's where we will have the Zapco amplifier running across, bolted from this side to that frame, and then that's where we will have the DSP underneath. So we will have very comfortable access to everything. Yeah, this should be very easily serviceable, accessible. Yeah, we had a few steps back and forth, cutty measure, but it came out pretty much the way I was dreaming about it.
No holes drilled in the chassis of the car either.
Yeah,
it's all bolted into proper locations.
At the end we had what, 1.5 meters steel left from 18 meters, so we ended up using then 16.5 meters of 1/2 inch by 1 inch box section. So a fair amount of steel, but to be fair, it's light. If you leave the rack, it's not that
without
heavy.
any amps on, you can pick it up. I think it weighs probably about 8 kilos, something like that.
That's what I would have said as well. So it's pretty much where we want it to be. We will have just short videos, guys, sharing with you the progress. Next week we will have a video showing the speaker installation, how we attacked the speaker installation, mid-bass, mid-range tweeter, front sub, rear sub, all that madness. There will be plenty of work to do, that's for sure. Well, we already have a couple of the speakers installed in the car. Also, if you are really interested in the behind the scene content, then check out description. Go to description, you find a link to our Patreon channel where we had daily updates. You could see everything step by step, all the little tricks and tips, what to look out for, what issues we had, what we had to, you know, work around. Over there you can definitely learn more about big projects like this. Plus we have weekly topics, RT evaluation, all sorts of crazy stuff. So check that one out. It's definitely worth checking. There you go. I'm going to drop your YouTube link into the description as well, so the guys can check out Platinum in Car.
Check out my 5 videos.
Exactly. That may give you a kick every year. You know, we work together once or twice at least. You get a kick maybe to do a bit more.
Yeah, I will do.
Because you do a lot of fancy stuff, but people never get to see it. And then to the time you think, oh, I could upload it, then the owners sell the car or they disappear, and you can never, you know, people gotta see that shit. Especially that hidden car in your workshop. Once we will have that shared publicly once it's in its full glory.
Hopefully it will see the light of day.
Hopefully. So this is it for this one, guys. Just a short video. Hopefully you liked it. Feel free to share it, comment, all the usual things. Check out description as I mentioned, and we will see you next week. Take care.